Hey everybody, welcome to Yellow Dog Farm. It's a beautiful evening here in April, and I just thought I'd show you around the farm a little bit and see how things are going. Spring has sprung and the place has really taken off. There's Miss Daisy. She's coming to say hi. And it's just amazing, this back pasture. If you kind of look there in the back, you can see that it's not fully grown in yet. We're going to talk to the farm supply store here tomorrow and see when they can come and put some lime down on these pastures. They'll put some lime down, we'll go ahead and add fertilizer, and then we'll till both in. So that'll get the lime right into the soil. And then shortly after, we'll go ahead and plant. It's plenty warm now, so the pasture should be growing in about a week once we plant. We're just going to have to plan it all around when the rain's going to come and when it isn't. So we'll see how that goes. There's Miss Pep enjoying that sun. They've been just eating down this back pasture just as much as they can. They've been in the front pasture for a little bit, well, all winter long, and it's really showing wear from all the 4 horses being on it for the entire winter. So I'll take you up there in a second and show it to you. Let's walk over and take a peek at the goats. So the adult does are hanging out here in the left pasture, and there's Blaze. He's visiting with the does for 2 months, and we're hoping that we're going to have several kids in September. So they're all staying here, and then we're keeping them separate from the juvenile goats up at the front of the farm. Well, we're coming up here to the goat pasture, and there's Andra and Bella. They're keeping an eye on me. They're waiting for their evening dinner. They're just growing like crazy, so they get fed 3 times a day. They've more than doubled in weight since they came here to the farm. They're just some fantastic pups. They're easy-go-lucky, but they're growing like crazy, and they're going to be really big when they become adults. They're really good at watching over their goats and just see how things are going up here. So as they get bigger, we worry less and less that they'll have any issue with coyotes or anything else like that. So they're doing great, and I don't know if we can see the goats wandering around back there or not, but they're back in the hay, just kind of taking it easy. So it's kind of like Club Med for goats up here. So just to orient you where you're at, there's the garden, the house and the shop, and then here's the horse pasture. I'm really pleased to see that the grass is actually starting to really take off. Just 1 or 2 days of the horses being off of here is really giving it a chance to grab hold and grow. So our hay usage has dropped off to almost nothing, and they're just chomping away, enjoying all this beautiful grass. So in a couple, 3 days, we'll rotate them back out here. We'll put them on this pasture, and they'll be able to enjoy it. It really needs it. It was really kind of tromped up, and I'll come up here to the side, and you can look over the fence and see towards their feeding stalls, and you can see what I'm talking about. You can see all that bare dirt where they've just walked all over that over the winter time. So we're really looking forward and interested to see how this all comes back. The plan is here that we'll start building the barn just as soon as possible, and then we'll rotate the horses back and forth between the back pastures on the left and the right hand side. But for now, they're going to hang out here in the front pasture. We'll turn this into an area for the goats once we go ahead and move the horses. So they'll have all this room, and then they'll be able to wander up there into their little area for foraging in the trees and whatnot as well. Doesn't everybody have a random paint quarter horse roaming around in their front yard in the middle of the evening? Santy's a good boy. He's pretty darn compatible with the whole family, and he doesn't really go anywhere. So we let him out and he was grazing. Since we've had the horses in the back pasture, we let him out and separate him so that he can go ahead and have his food without having to compete with the others. So he didn't feel like going back in the pasture right after dinner, so he's just kind of wandering around. Here's a quick peek at the garden. It's kind of hard to see everything that's growing right now, but there's our herbs. In the back, we've newly planted tomatoes, potatoes, and a couple of other viney things here at the arches. So we're just patiently waiting. They've all sprouted and they're just growing away. So pretty darn excited about it. Everybody's enjoying all the new stuff that's growing. There's the babies. Coco is closest to us, and little buddy's back there seeing what he can get to nibble on. They just love being out in this area where they can forage for whatever it is they can find. Bella and Ander are having their dinner. This is a nightly ritual. About 7:45 at night I come up and give them both their dinner. They get their breakfast about 8 and lunch about 1. So they're just growing so darn fast they need to eat 3 times a day. They went and saw the vet just a little bit ago, and they got a clean bill of health, and they're just doing what they're supposed to, which is grow like crazy.